Alright. Alright, so here's my thing. Gun control, right? It's gotta be, in our eyes, this is how we see it. It's either all bad or it's all good. Either you're a gun-toting, NRA loving, squirrel shooting, rifle owning redneck, or you're a liberal loving, whale saving, recycling liberal. Alright, I said liberal. Right? Those are your options. It's got to be two ends of the spectrum. Well, what if you're both wrong? What if you're just fighting and scrapping and making assumptions instead of actually trying to figure anything out? Because you just want to feel, you both just want to feel comfortable, and you have pride that you're right. So nothing ever gets figured out in this country. What if, barring our Constitution and the fact that we do have a government that's getting progressively larger and more secretive and starting wars and trying to take our rights away, that we don't just throw out the Second Amendment and start dumping everybody's right to own guns, even rifles. Okay? What if we don't do that because of the history and what's going on, and just the general fact that maybe we should have the right to own them, despite what other people do with them. Okay? So that's one side for the gun-toting, squirrel-shooting rednecks. Bam. And then the gun-toting, squirrel-shooting rednecks need to tell themselves, okay, well, we got one. Now what if, even though it isn't the gun's fault, that guns don't kill people, it's true, no problems are because of anything because of humans. We can establish that. But even though that's the case, what if we could save, probability-wise, a certain amount of lives by taking away certain munitions and making it more challenging to get even any gun, especially for somebody who's a first-time buyer or whatever. Logically, we would figure out the laws involved. What if we did that? You know, what if we found a middle ground? Nobody anywhere, no news station, no celebrity, no politician. There might be a couple politicians, because there's a couple of good ones in there. Nobody says that. Nobody tries to find a middle ground on anything. It's either, screw this, man, all the children are dying and we need to do this, or it's, you can't take our rights away, you know, you can't do anything, don't touch anybody's guns. I don't know what it would take for Americans to start acting like adults and looking at a situation objectively. I have no idea what that would take. Basically, it would take them getting over their own fear and their own flaws and seeing their own capability, which is, nobody can do that, but everybody individually. But the answer is there. The answer to every problem is there. There's a bunch of answers, but a much better, an actual answer opposed to just taking one of two sides that don't even exist, that aren't even beneficial to reality, is not one of the answers. So I don't know, that's just my thought on that, and everything else is figure it out with compromise. You know, that's the only way to figure it out. my deal is, you know, I don't know anything about like the laws, and but my deal of how I think of anything is the first thing I think of is because, like I said, it's a human issue. The first thing I think of is how come for 1 second we don't do anything about the human issue, you know? So even if we find a middle ground on guns and tragedies like Newtown and, you know, all these other horrible mass shootings that seem to be a staple of American culture now, this has been going on for a long time. Not once do we look at it like a human issue and say, let's find a way, even if there's no return on the money, or no visible return on the money, even though there is, to help anyone and everyone, whether they're homeless or they have $1 billion, who is mentally unstable. You know, where are the establishments? Where is the advertised, publicized, known government clinic in every big city, even, where people can walk in and get free mental health care? You know, I don't see that, much less taking another step and, you know, I don't know, using police resources or somebody to look for that sort of thing, because the signs are really there, or have it a place where people can report. You know, I don't, maybe those places exist, but they're definitely not big enough and well enough known. Like right now, if my neighbor just was kooky and talking about killing people for months, and he was stockpiling guns, you know, or even before he was stockpiling guns, instead of calling the police and whatever, having a mass shootout or some shit, where's the place where I could refer him to, where he could just show up and, you know, get help? I don't know. I don't know the answer. Of course, not everybody is. Some of them are. Not everybody is a self-admitted, you know, psycho or delusional. But there are answers. Anyway, that's it.